So our friends over at Joby have just sent us this. This is the new Joby Wavo Pro microphone, and I'm actually pretty excited to test it out. It's clearly a microphone that's been designed from the ground up for content creators and YouTube creators. Now, we've tested a few microphones on this channel before, as you'll know, but this one has a few tricks up its sleeve that I'm looking forward to testing out. First of all, it's got active noise reduction that should block out some of the background noises we get when we film this kind of content. Secondly, it can record a safety track. So you basically have two channels on the microphone. One will record at whatever level you set, and then it will record a second one at -10 dB, which could be super handy. And then they've got advanced EQ settings with the companion app, so you can actually change the sound of the microphone before you even bring it into Final Cut Pro or Premiere Pro. And then you can actually add presets too. So we've designed some presets for this microphone already. I'll give you a flavor of those later in the video. But the big important question is, does this sound any good? I'd like you to tell me that in the comments below. So anyway, let's jump into it and let's take a look at this microphone. So this is the Wavo Pro microphone, and we're actually recording on it using the USB microphone mode right now. It's quite a tall microphone with the shotgun at the top. On the left-hand side, we have a +10 and +20 dB gain and the camera microphone socket. On the right side, we have the USB-C port. This camera has a built-in rechargeable battery with over 50 to 60 hours of runtime and an additional microphone input, so you can use a wireless or wired lav system. There's also another gain control here too for the right channels. On the back of the microphone, we have the on switch, which features some nice LEDs around it. If they start to turn orange, you know you're peaking, so it's nice to have these indicators available when recording. You've got a Bluetooth connection button, and also at the very top, this little button here allows you to record a safety track, which we'll show you a little bit later on. In the box, you also get a Rycote dead cat, which I tend to leave on if I'm ever filming outside. So let's start out with some audio tests. Now, what you're listening to right now is the inbuilt microphone on the Sony a7S III. And I think it's always good to do a comparison against this microphone because this is the microphone that you have built into your camera. Of course, your camera may be different to this one, but this is what this sounds like. So next, we are going to jump over to the Joby Wavo Pro from the same distance, about 2 or 3 feet away from me. So now let's pop on the Joby Wavo Pro. Dead cat is going to be off, and we'll see what this sounds like. Okay, we have now switched to the Joby Wavo Pro, and we haven't got any settings or anything turned on. This is the audio you can expect in a studio setup like this, 2 or 3 feet away from your camera with the Joby Wavo Pro. Now, what's good about the Wavo Pro, as I mentioned in the intro, is you can actually control the microphone settings from the iPhone app itself, which is actually quite good. If you're filming on your own, if you're a YouTuber and you don't have an extra camera person with you, it's quite good. You can see the gain levels here on the iPhone. You can turn it up and down, and it also has active noise reduction. Now, we're, to be honest, in a pretty good studio environment, but I'm going to turn it on now. And there we go, the active noise reduction is on. Did you notice any difference there at all? There's not really any noise to knock out in the studio at all, apart from maybe a little bit of a humming of a light, but I thought I would turn it on so you can see that. Next, we're going to switch to the Sennheiser. This is a microphone we use quite a lot here at Editor's Keys. Okay, we are now on the Sennheiser MKE 400 microphone, and we do own the Rode VideoMic Pro 2, but to be honest, we've been using this microphone quite a lot. I just like the sound that comes from this microphone, but maybe the Joby could be the one to replace that. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. We're just using the default settings of the Sennheiser. How does it sound to the inbuilt? How does it sound compared to the Joby Wavo Pro? Let me know. Next, what I'm going to do, I know a lot of you will do a lot of vlogging where you're holding the camera at arm's length. I'm going to do that inside here. We're going to just do a test just on the Joby and just on the Sennheiser to see what the difference is between those, and then we'll look at some of the settings that you can change on the Joby Wavo Pro. Now we are doing a handheld vlogging test in the studio with the Joby Wavo Pro. I often think that shotgun microphones like this sound much better up close, and if you can, it's actually quite a good idea to boom these microphones in if you're going to use this as your only microphone. What do you think of the audio quality from this kind of distance inside? Let me know. Next, let's switch to the Sennheiser. Okay, so I wouldn't normally do handheld stuff in the studio, but this is just a test because microphones like this often sound better when you're closer to them, of course. So this is the Sennheiser MKE 400 at arm's length distance using the Sony a7S III. Again, this is the Sennheiser microphone. What do you think of the audio quality? One feature which is pretty cool about the Joby Wavo Pro is the ability to record a safety track. So let's go outside and let's test that out. This is the first test, and just for reference, this is the Sony a7S III's built-in microphone. So we're not using any external microphone for this test. As you can see, pretty windy day, and we've got a digger knocking down a building in the background. So this is the internal microphone. Now let's switch to the Joby Wavo Pro. This is a test with the Joby Wavo Pro. We've installed the dead cat on the microphone, and this is the audio that you can expect out of the microphone, straight out of the microphone. As you can still hear, we've got the wind going in the background. How is the dead cat working on that? And we've still got the digger making a lot of noise in the background too. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to load up the Joby Wavo Pro app, and I'm going to turn on the active noise reduction to see how that affects the noise in the background. So every other setting on the microphone is the same, but we've turned on the active noise reduction. The digger is still doing its thing in the background. Hasn't made much of a difference to the audio coming through the Joby Wavo Pro. The wind is still pretty noisy as well. So this is a comparison between the regular audio and the active noise reduction on the Joby Wavo Pro. We have now switched to the Sennheiser microphone. So this is one of the favorite microphones we use at Editor's Keys for vlogging. Up until now, maybe the Joby will beat this. But essentially, we've got the Sennheiser just recording natively out of the microphone itself. The dead cat is on the microphone, but there are no other settings changed at the moment. How is it affecting with the noise in the background? We've got a very windy situation at the moment. The digger is still going on in the background, and a car has just driven past. How does it sound? Next, we're going to put the low pass filter on. It's not really designed to help situations like this, but we'll switch it on anyway, just so you can see what difference that makes. This is a test with the Sennheiser with the low pass filter switch on. Sometimes this can take out some of those rumbling noises. Really good if you have air conditioning, or maybe you're filming inside a plane, something where you get that constant rumble. Now, the digger's not really a constant rumble, but it may help the sound a little bit. We've got people walking past traffic. You might have heard the crossing signal going off there. But overall, what is the audio quality like between Joby, the Sennheiser, and the built-in microphone? We're now in somewhere a little bit more quiet. This is a test with the inbuilt microphone on the Sony a7S III, just to give you an example of what the internal microphone sounds like. I'll also do a little walking around test as well. So this is a handheld vlogging test with the Sony a7S III's inbuilt camera, and we're doing this test because sometimes when you walk around with the microphone, the actual shock mount of the microphone can cause you problems. So for reference, this is the inbuilt microphone on the Sony a7S III. We have now switched to the Joby Wavo Pro. We're outside behind the church. This is a little bit of a quieter environment. We've got the microphone settings on standard, and it's now starting to rain as well. So this is the audio quality in regular mode on the Joby Wavo Pro. Okay, so this is the second test, just a walking vlog test with the Joby Wavo Pro. Again, we're testing because sometimes when you shift around and you're walking around, you can shake the shock mount and this can cause problems. How does this sound on the Joby Wavo Pro? Just gonna walk for a little bit longer. And then next, we're gonna switch to the Sennheiser. So now we have switched to the Sennheiser microphone. This is the raw audio quality you can expect from the Sennheiser microphone. We're just in a regular place, not too busy, not too loud, but there is a little bit of wind noise in the background. How is the audio quality now? Okay, so this is a walking test with the Sennheiser microphone. Got some pigeons flying off there. We're just going to walk around, try and make the microphone shake a little bit within its shock mount. Usually this microphone has been pretty good for this. I don't really hear rumbles when I've been doing past tests, but let me know in the comment section what microphone you think sounds the best for handheld vlogging. Okay, so for this test, we're testing out the new safety track feature. So what we've done in camera is we've put the input volume far too high, so my audio should be peaking. I can see within the app, we've got the safety track turned on, which means we're recording a separate track 10 decibels lower than this one. Really handy if you go to trade shows like we do, or if you just want that safety track. If you're somewhere where you can only record once, this could save it. So is this too loud? Now let's switch to that safety track and listen to it again. Okay, so for this test, we're testing out the new safety track feature. So what we've done in camera is we've put the input volume far too high, so my audio should be peaking. I can see within the app, we've got the safety track turned on, which means we're recording a separate track 10 decibels lower than this one. Really handy if you go to trade shows like we do, or if you just want that safety track. If you're somewhere where you can only record once, this could save it. So is this too loud? Now let's switch to that safety track and listen to it again. So another nice little feature they've included on the back of the microphone is just a peaking meter that you can see with some LED lights. So if you've got a camera operator, they have another visual reference that the microphone could be peaking and then can adjust that. So as you can see at the back right now, it's green, but if we tap the microphone, you should see the light color changes to a more orangey reddy tone to let you know that the audio is peaking. So you can download the Joby Wavo application and you'll see here that it's searching for a Wavo Pro. We've got this one here. It says ready. All you need to do is press the Bluetooth button here at the bottom. You'll see that starts to flash blue, and you can see you can change the device name as well in case you've got a few Wavo Pros, and this will take a second or two and it will connect. And I really like this because it allows you or your camera operator to control the microphone's gain from the app itself. So if you are recording on your own, you know, it's always tricky. If you're setting the camera up a few feet away from you, you have to go back over to the camera to adjust the audio input levels. But with this, you can actually adjust it from the app itself, which is quite cool. The app is also where you can activate the kind of active noise reduction. It's a little bit of a shame they didn't include a button here on the Joby Wavo Pro, but you can do it directly from the app, and you'll have seen some tests from that. Now, actually what you can do, aside from adjusting your safe controls and things like that, everything that you can adjust on the microphone, you get a battery level as well, so you can see if you're about to run out. But the setting I really like is the ability to edit the audio presets within the microphone itself. So all of the audio you've heard so far is the kind of raw audio coming from the Joby Wavo Pro. But I know a lot of people do like to adjust their audio in post, and actually this could save you a little bit of time because it allows you to adjust the warmth, the clarity, and your presence, as well as things like low cut filter. So if you're always recording in an indoor studio setting, you may actually want to set up a preset here and save that. So it just saves you editing your audio when you get back to Final Cut Pro or Adobe Premiere. So that's really nice to see. You can also tap this button here and go to an advanced settings. So if you really know your stuff here within audio, you can actually do much more advanced audio equalizing settings, which is really good to see. Now, the next thing I like is that they've given us the ability to use presets. So we've actually created some editor's keys audio presets that you can download. Check out the link in the description below to go to our blog. And we've created one for outdoors and one for indoors. So you can load that up. You can actually load this up if you get this microphone, and this will give you our professionally adjusted presets for this Joby Wavo microphone, and it should sound much better. So let me give you some examples now of what these sound like. So what you're hearing right now is the raw audio coming out of the Joby Wavo Pro. It sounds pretty good, but listen to what it sounds like when we put the editor's keys preset on. I'm going to turn it on now. So now you're listening to me with the Editor's Keys indoor audio preset. And as you can hear, it's not a huge difference, but it just makes the audio a lot richer, much more like that kind of radio voice sound that you will hear. So let me know what you think of this. And if you want to download our presets, they're completely free of charge. I've put them onto our blog. So check out the link in the description below. Okay, so you've heard all of the audio tests coming from this microphone. What do you think? I'll let you know what I think. So overall, I think it's actually a very good microphone with a lot of pluses. You've got the safety tracks, you've got the Ryco shock mount, it records some really nice audio, and you've got a USB mode as well. So if you don't want to buy loads of microphones, that could be a big plus for you too. Now, in terms of audio quality, which is the most important thing, I think the audio quality is very nice. It's very clean, it's very easy to edit, and you've got all the equalizer settings. I think I would give the edge over this and the Sennheiser. I would give the edge personally to the Sennheiser, but it doesn't mean that this is a bad microphone. The Sennheiser has some downsides. It doesn't have rechargeable batteries. You can't use it as a USB mic. It doesn't have a lot of the features that this microphone has. I just think it sounds slightly better, but of course you can edit those things in the mix when you get to Final Cut or Premiere. Now, let me know what you thought of the audio tests that we did. Let me know in the comment section below, and let me know if you're going to be picking this microphone up. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And if you enjoyed this video, you might enjoy this one coming up right here. So I'll see you in that video. Thanks for watching.